Joining us now, Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. It's good to see you again. Okay, the president green lights and okays Russia's polluting Nord Stream 2, but Greenpeace, World Wildlife Fund, environmentalists say this gas pipeline out of Russia, this fuel pipeline, is ruining the ocean, ruining beaches. So did the president just throw environmentalists under the bus?
I think he threw everybody under the bus. I mean, in America, he shut down the Keystone Pipeline. He said that he thought it was bad for the environment, but then goes over and appeases Russia. I mean, how long did they accuse Donald Trump of being a shill for Russia? Ends up Joe Biden is doing favors for Russia. So nobody's happy here. Nobody's happy about, cuddling up to and doing what Vladimir Putin wanted. And then the environmentalists bring up all these environmental concerns, and they're upset too. So it really does beg the question, Liz, why would they do this? Why prioritize Russia over the United States of America? It does not make sense.
Let's stay on your point. If Trump had done this, if he had green-lighted the Nord Stream pipeline, after one of his children got more than $3 million from the wife of the former mayor of Moscow, that being Hunter Biden, there would be screams of impeachment again. So how is this okay?
It's not okay. This is the whole point. It's misdirection by the Democrats who scream Russia, Russia, Russia on everything that had to do with Donald Trump. Then, we're barely 100+ days into the Biden administration. Look at all the things he's done to appease and make things easier for Russia. But at the same time, what's so offensive are the people who would have and did make their money on the Keystone Pipeline. The president didn't take but a few hours to shut down our ability to be energy independent and close off energy production on public lands, particularly out west in Utah and in Nevada, in Wyoming. But these are real jobs, good paying jobs, and the ability to fuel our future. But he seems to be spending a lot more time worried about getting, fuel from Russia into Eastern Europe. And that's what's so offensive, makes no sense, and is certainly not good in the best interest of the United States of America. Why do this, Mr. President?
The Biden administration, he greenlights and then waves sanctions against the Russian Nord Stream 2 pipeline. When a week ago, Russian hackers shut down the U.S.'s biggest pipeline, the Colonial. Just like Russia shut down Ukraine's power. I mean, so we've got White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki saying, how can you stop a pipeline in another country that's 95% built when the Keystone Pipeline was fully completed more than 10 years ago? So we just don't understand the logic of blocking Keystone, opposing Dakota Access. Pipelines destroy the environment, but don't pipelines destroy the environment overseas? I mean, this Nord Stream 2 has been polluting Germany's Baltic coast with toxic grease on beaches and in the ocean, including also coming out of the nature preserves that goes through the Kurgalsky Nature Reserve in Russia and then pollutes the Baltic Sea. How is that okay? Our environmentalists got to be upset about this.
They have to be upset, but I want the administration to tell us why this was such an imperative to actually get done. The Keystone Pipeline was important to Canada. It was important to bring ourselves to the point where we could be energy independent. They shut off our own ability to develop energy resources in the United States so we could export these energy products like clean natural gas into Europe.
Stick for a second. Hang on, I want to ask you a question. The pipeline that the Michigan governor wanted to shut down and seize the profits from, they're saying, forget it, we're ignoring you. We're just going to keep, doing what we're doing with our pipeline. What if pipelines in the U.S. and those companies who run them say, you know what, we're going to ignore you, Biden administration. We're not going to shut down. What would happen?
I don't know. I mean, that would be an interesting way to go. But, all kinds of legal lawsuits flying every single direction. But let's understand, Donald Trump made a very clear directive, be energy independent. And that brought untold safety and security to the United States, and it drove down energy costs. What I want the viewers to understand at home for American energy is Democrats fundamentally do not want lower energy prices because they believe if you drive more, that's bad for the environment. So they're just fine raising the price of gas and having these energy products go so sky high.
Well, they're driving their own cars, right? And they're flying around in planes and jets like climate envoy John Kerry is. Okay, Jason Chaffetz, thank you so much for joining us.